Hey everyone, hope everyone is doing well. Just wanted to put a little video out now that I've used the sawmill for a while. It's just kind of a little list, a small list, I guess, of things I like and don't like about the sawmill. So, just gonna start right off the bat here. This is what I call like the log sticker, clamp, whatever you want to call it. I don't know its technical name. But the thing I don't like about this in particular is the locking mechanism. It's kind of basically two lobes, and when you're pushed up against the log, and then it's up, and then when you push down, it exerts more pressure and then locks. A lot of times though, these pieces, when you're putting them under pressure, they'll slide past each other. And I've never used the kind where you screw them in. I think that's what it used to come with. And I think I might, like that better where you can put just the right amount of pressure. So that's the first thing I really don't like about this particular sawmill. It gets the job done, you get used to, working with it, but it is what it is. Apologize for the noise in the background, it's the sawmills running again. So the second thing I don't like about this sawmill, and it's something I don't understand why it is the way it is, but it's the way that they have the leveling feet or the adjustable feet on it. So right now you can see two adjustable feet in the bunk. So here's one, there's one, and here's the bunk. So when I originally got it, if you watch my videos, I only got one of those 2 feet. So you got like 90, I don't even know, most of the weight is gonna be on this bunk because that's where the log's laying on. So it's gonna come down this bunk, and this isn't gonna be here because this is a new one. It has to either transfer across the rail here to this foot on this bolt, or it would have to go, and this one wasn't here, it has to go all the way over to that one to transfer. So all the weight's on the bunk, and then it has to transfer that far away to get down to the floor. I just question, and I seen on the old instruction manual, they used to have it incorporated into the center of this bunk, and really that's where it should be, because any other place it's going to cause bending. I mean, if you think about it, over time, all that weight on here, even if with 2 feet, it's going to cause a slight bow maybe, depending on how much weight's on there and how you handle it. Right now I think it's fine. They should at least give you all the feet. Okay, that's the bare minimum. So I don't like that. They either need to give you all the feet or they need to put it in the center. So I don't like that. All right, moving on. This is a small thing because, you can't complain too much when you're getting a good price, right? So the blade guides. So these blade guides seem to move very easily. So you need to check them every time. I don't know if that's normal on all sawmills, but what I mean by move is they can turn this way just a little bit, or maybe go in and out just a little bit, which is going to affect your back, the bearing behind here for the blade. And it'll make it wear out faster if it's pushed out too far where the blade's up against it. So you got to keep a close eye on it. Now, now you would think like if you don't hit them, then they wouldn't move, but I'm not joking. Like the kind of like the joke around here is like they move on their own, or they just, like, it doesn't take much to move them, because there's literally been times where I came out to do my blade guide adjustment to start, and this last time I couldn't even spin the blade. And I thought, oh no, my bearing has finally went out, on my wheel here. I was like, it's seized up, I can't even hardly spin it. And I was like, well, let me check the blade guides first. And sure enough, this one's all tilted sideways, and it's actually pinching the blade where I couldn't really get it going very good. So I thought it was bearing, but it was just the blade guides. So it's not a big deal, like I said, what do you expect? But expect to keep a close eye on those. So I don't necessarily like that, but I'm willing to deal with it, I guess you would say. So the next thing I don't like, and this is entirely insignificant, but this emergency stop button, it's just, I don't know if they do make a good one of these. I bet they do, but I just don't like this one. It feels cheap, I guess you would say. And sometimes, like, you're not really sure where you're at, and you have to kind of fiddle around with it. It feels like it's in a weird position, and it hasn't failed or anything, but I have a feeling like this is gonna fail. And I don't like it because I can't really tell sometimes. It feels like it's in like a middle position. So that's a small thing, not a big deal. Once again, that's a lower, they're saving some money there on that button. Now this next thing is somewhat serious, because in the instructions, at least they used to tell you to set your tension by a nut that was on here. And I've talked about this before. In my instructions, it shows a nut on there, and you're supposed to set it to 25 pounds. At least that's what the old instructions say. But now the new way I do it is, and I think I've said this before, is I just, tighten it to where I think it's 25 pounds. And then I gotta kind of sit here and go and spin this and then see how it's going across both wheels. And then that's how I tell my alignment. Now, the only problem with that is you could there's a little more margin for error, because first of all, you can't ever tension it to 25 pounds to actually feel what it feels like unless you weld a nut on there. And I have seen people do that, but you don't really ever get the feel for it. And if you do get a little too loose, it can cause issues like, a wobbly blade or the blade falling off. And if you get it too tight, it could probably, I would imagine it could cause damage to maybe the pulley, because it's causing more force. I could see where it would even maybe make the bearings and the wheels wear out faster, because there's like a more tension, like more of a force on them. So it's kind of crucial to kind of know what that tension feels like, at least. So I feel like they either need to update the instructions to where it tells you how to actually get that perfect feeling, or they need to just put that bolt on there so you can get a torque wrench and actually feel it once to feel what it feels like. Because I can only go by feel, and there's been times where I've been running it and I thought I had it just right, aligned right, because I'm going by the alignment, but really I had it just a little bit too loose. So I had to tighten it up a little bit. So, that's just one thing I don't like about it. I feel like that's an easy fix. I could easily just put that nut back on there or something, and then you wouldn't have to worry about knowing if the tension's exactly right. Because that's actually a question that gets asked a lot too, is how do you tension it? And that brings me to the next thing I don't like is I got old instructions. So I've never actually got instructions for this machine. So I've got instructions for something that, I'm assuming they took the model they had and they made this, because it was supposed to be better, or they changed it for whatever reason to save money, I don't know. But the dog, these little stickers are different that go in, and the leg styles are different, because in the old design they just had that one center adjustable leg. So, but I mean, it would be nice to have real instructions. So I don't like that, and I don't like the fact that the sticker on it, or the plate, whatever you want to call it, isn't accurate. Like it just kind of bothers me. That's one thing I don't like. Now that's a small thing, so it's not that big of a deal, but that's really the only things I don't like about this machine, honestly. So the things I do like about it is obviously the cost. I mean, I can't really show you that, but talk to somebody if you want to know what the cost is. But even with the prices higher on these, I'm going to guess that other manufacturers are higher now too. I haven't been paying close attention, so I'm sure it still isn't competitive as ever on price. So that's number one. Two, minus the feet, the metal is good. And what I mean by that, obviously, is if they don't give you all the feet for it, I question I don't think the metal's strong enough. It has to be more robust. But if you have the feet like I have them now, then I feel like it's good enough. So the thing I'm saying is good is the metal, I think, is good. Like, there's not cheap metal on this machine. And that's something I think a lot of people worry about, is this like thinner metal or cheaper metal? And I say no, it's as good of metal as whatever you would get on any other like economy mill. So I like that. And other than that, I like the simplicity of it. Some people might say that's a negative because they want automatic stuff on it, but I kind of like that it's simple, that there's less to go wrong, I guess you would say. So that would be like the other thing I like about it. And it's fairly easy to run because of that, because it's simple. So if anybody's still looking at this mill, that is my biggest pet peeves that I don't like, and obviously the three things that stand out most that I like about it. So hope you guys have a good day. I'll probably post some videos of me milling soon. And stay well, everyone.